Wassail, beautiful people. It's solar eclipse time, solar eclipse time. Yes, 25th of October, we have the partial solar eclipse. Wassail, Kathy. I'm a bit chilly, I might have to put a jumper on. Forgot to bring my hat down. Wassail, rebel star, wassail, ace of ghosts, wassail, Susan cheers, wassail, kickstart angels, wassail, Hygeia. Let's put this little baby alpaca on. Wassail, Holly, wassail, Rob Oldenson. I feel very ill. Still. And I've just been thoroughly enjoying myself with no pressure, just watching Rob. I've put live on and my mind's gone blank. So, let's just get myself comfy. Wassail, Donna, 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 wassail, Haley, Lucy Poole, wassail, rebel star, I think I said that already. A fiery climax approaches. It does feel like there's a big fiery climax in there. Yeah, exactly. I've been in and out of that room and there's nothing happening yet. That fiery climax is holding off. So, the eclipse tunnels are coming. Wassail, Daisy May. Wassail, Jeremy. And the eclipse. Oh, hang on. I've got so many different things open. I need my asteroids. And that's asteroids, not hemorrhoids. It's 25 degrees here, but my outdoor space doesn't get much sun. It gets it in the morning and now it's gone, so I've had to pull the lights on. Wow. I think we will come to Pluto direct. Pluto's got a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. Also, when you look at this area, the important part of this period, which we call an eclipse tunnel, which is between the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, is that, yes, we were doing pirates with Rob. So if you haven't watched Rob, go over and watch it. Wassail, urban alchemy. Yeah, well, also by the eclipse, let me just check, Saturn will also be direct. There's a lot going on. In terms of eclipses being light and dark, and the energy in that space, it's all kind of ruled by Venus. Ruled, or it concerns Venus. Venus is on a superior conjunction with the Sun, meaning that wassail, tom thumb, meaning that it's passing behind the Sun. And so it's almost like until the second when Venus comes out from behind the Sun, even though you won't be able to see it, there's an energy or a feeling of being lost without love. And that's a very odd energy. And yet, we've called this video, I can't remember what we've called this video. It won't show me. But it's to do with joyful certainties rather than clinging to the comfort blankets, the things that we know and love. It's about being given a chance to reassess our shadows. What are those shadows at this point? That's it. Seeking joyful certainties over hugging the past too tightly. So transformation, because Venus will become the evening star at the end of this period on the 2nd. So if you look at the shadows are concerned entirely with the energies from house 1 to house 6. So they're really personal energies. And then what's in the light is houses 7, or our houses 7 to 12. So kind of transformative, big energies for everyone. We're going to look at a whole series of different... I need some water. Feel a bit parched. It's all that pirate talk and salty water. I still got to deal with my breathing. I feel like I've been picking up the energy of my father who had COPD. Which eventually led to his demise, and that was an inability to breathe. And while I'm here so high in the mountains, it's a real sense of gasping for air. So we're looking at light and darkness, but we're looking at the different aspects that are coming through. So on the eclipse, you will find that the sun, where have I put it? Maybe I've written more pages than I thought. The sun, the moon, and Venus will be in conjunction. And they're going to be at 2 degrees of Scorpio. Yeah, I think that we're all about to be energetically tested in a way that we just kind of feels a little bit unfair, but we have to go through these things to make something new of the energies coming in. So it's a bit dark in here, but the light's going. Yeah, I think I've got a norovirus. And it's not nice, but it's a chariclo frequency. It's an awakening of the physical body as part of our spiritual journey. You know, we can all have that emotional spiritual awakening, but we also need a physical awakening to transform the energies stored within the memories of our cells and within our ancestral DNA. I think that's what we're working on. The eclipse tunnel is the 25th of October on the solar eclipse, which is solar eclipse 124 in the Saros series, to the lunar eclipse, which is on the 8th of November, and that's 136. Yeah, exactly. And I think that the planets are bullying us because the cosmos wants us to transform. So we're going to begin by looking at different energies and seeing what they mean. So most of the energy of the eclipse is in house 10. And that house 10 covers from 20 degrees of Libra until 21 degrees of Scorpio. So most of the busy planets, Psyche, Mercury, Haumea, the Sun, the Moon, Venus, and of course the South Node are all there in house 10. So we're going to begin by looking at Psyche and Mercury because they're in conjunction, 22 degrees of Libra. They've come into conjunction and they're now separating out. So we're gonna ask the runes for a conjunction energy for Psyche and Mercury. I don't know what any of it means. And you can go online and you can look it up, but energies are transforming at the moment. New frequencies are coming through. So I'm more happy to trust my cards to tell me what's going on. Honestly, I feel like I've got a football in my belly. Whoa. So, I'm going to do might do some timestamps. So, PSYCHE, Psyche and Mercury. And that's at 10:30. So, I had that lovely avocado the other day and then brought it all back up about 12 hours later. Still, it was lovely while I ate it, even if it didn't want to go down. So, Psyche, Ooh. Look at that pair for Psyche. You can almost see the energy of the runes being unpicked. So we've got to unpick our swelterness. We've got to unpick our past. Yeah, stress, anxiety, it could just be Soul Explorer that we've got to go through these things. Thin air, keep breathing. So, Psyche, unpicking the past, and this is a rarefied moment. Yeah, this is a solstice energy, but it's as much the equinoxes, and it's also the energy of eclipses. These are rare moments. So, Mercury. Who'd have thought? Gifu and bliss. So Mercury, it's almost, I'm seeing like Mercury interviewing Psyche about her life and about the decisions that she made in her life that allowed her to lose Eros. And that again is that theme of losing love. And it was about how, yeah, altitude sickness is hard. If I didn't have the bug, I think I'd be okay with this altitude. And on Sunday, I'm hoping to go even higher to Puno to get to Lake Titicaca where my Jupiter line is. But it also feels a little bit like with the altitude, it's harder to release the illness. So yes, this interview. What did Psyche do that was wrong that she can't face? Because there's something really interesting about the Psyche and Eros story that always seems a little unbelievable. It always seems a little bit like you're fools. But there's also an energy, because it's about being deified, being transformed and moved into the heavens, which is what happens at the end. But there's a whole series of tests. I mean, Aphrodite gives Psyche 4 tests, but she gets lots of help with it. So, oh no, the wrong deck. I'm going to go with this deck now to ask, what's that journey? Yeah, it's time to have our work marked. Our life's work is being marked. So, what do we have? Oh! So the first two that I could see, lunar eclipse and Venus. And that's exactly what I've just said. This whole eclipse tunnel that we're moving through is about our relationship to our conscious love. And we've got to somehow wire our conscious love into our physical bodies. That's why we're having this characlo energy. So that we can connect have a kind of energy where we bring our consciousness into a non-judgmental frequency. And then we have salt. This is to materialize something new. There's something about this that's about the eclipse tunnel being a period of stripping everything back into two halves, the day and the night. This is like the line that I talked about with all the shadows, houses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is almost house 10. The energy of house 10 will allow us to review that sense of status, being, our place in the world, and air. So we're materializing a new us in the air frequency that is now surrounding us, this new age that's bringing something different. What might Mercury like to add to that? So one, wolf protection, antimony, house 4. That's interesting. That's talking about the opposition to house 10. There's something here about parents, but not just, I don't mean your parents, I mean parental energies, ancestral tunes that have been dictating how you've lived your life until now. Almost like Psyche had to, our Psyche herself, had to go through certain energies because they were within them. I'm also being drawn to this energy of the sense of morning star, evening star, changing, transforming, turning things on its head. That's the real frequency that's coming out here. The lunar eclipse is a 13. So there's some kind of mystical, creative, muse-like frequency coming in. I feel like Mercury is one to think about. Let Mercury quiz you. Wassail, Elizabeth. Mercury, what do you want to ask Psyche? What are you asking Psyche? Moon in Aries, which we've just been through. Rob had this card as well. He had the full moon in Aries. Assertive independence. And then we've got take, retrograde, remove, illusions. We're halfway through the astrological year. We're moving into the kind of meaty part now. It's all about moon phases. We've got moon in Aries, moon in Capricorn, moon in Cancer. Now, can anyone tell me the big commonality between these three moons? What do they all have in common? I don't usually ask questions, but it might be quite nice. I see the message now. Any guesses? What does Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer all have in common? It's gone very quiet. Space Monk has the answer. Yes, Eve is perfectly correct. They're cardinal energies. Take control. That's Mercury's message to your psyche. You have to take control. You have to action your own inner values through your intuitive thoughts. Yeah, Eve is smart. She's very, very, very smart. So that is what we're talking about here. Actioning your own inner values, changing things. Well, I think you'll find there's still some little bits of it in there, Wild Wolfwoman. Yeah, exactly, Cardinal. And it's interesting that Libra is the one that's missing, but it does take place, the beginning of this, still in Libra. There is a cardinal air energy, a new energy when, on the 22nd, when the superior conjunction with Venus takes place. Oh, look, that's interesting as well. Reversals again. So not just the wolf protection morning star, evening star, but 1551. Materialize a new love, materialize a new frequency of self-love and love for others, but it's got to be connected to the body and it's got to be non-judgmental. Wassail, Ricky! It's nice to have you here, Ricky. Sneaking out of your shell there. So yeah, it will be in Libra, and it's been a long time since 1771, which is another mirror, that the last superior conjunction of Venus was in Libra. So it's been a long time. Ricky, you're the new hot favourite in this community. So that is the first little part. Now, I want to just look at the message of Haumea. Haumea is at 29 degrees of Libra at the eclipse. So sitting right in that same area of house 10. Wrong day. Oh, hang on, Haumea. Timestamps. Haumea. Timestamp 22:30. It's the wrong deck still. What's going on? What's our mother accused? So, Haumea. Haumea. Who knows things about Haumea while I'm shuffling? Haumea is the goddess from where's Ariel when you need her? She'd be straight on this one. Yeah, Haumea. It's spelled Haumea if you're really smart. So Rob, do you know where Haumea is from? If you know Ariel, that's a good clue. Haumea's there, waiting for her money. Hawaii, Kirsty is correct. See, we're all having our work marked. Yeah, because of the context clues, exactly. Okay, bye, Tiff. So, Haumea. Ooh, now that's interesting because a word that Rob doesn't like very much, but the word most associated with Haumea is fecundity. Oh. And then from the water meadow, we've got first flow. We've got that energy of, I want to say, an egg coming out of the ovaries and preparing to birth something brand new. 2213. Influencer or flirting. there is a real sense of abundant, creative potential in an egg salad. Yes, Holly. So let's go with Haumea. I need a little bit more water. I feel like I'm about to give birth to something, but I don't think any of us need to see it. I feel for you, Heidi. But I have to be honest and say I have no idea what a headache feels like. I've never experienced one in my life. So, exactly, it's not something anyone needs to see. It's between me and my throne room. So, Haumea, Hawaiian goddess, taking down the heat. You know, I don't often read these as reversals, but there's a real sense of taking down the heat. She's offering the calm. She's offering that energy that sort of sits more gently. And we have aqua vita. So taking away, this is alcohol. So this is the energy frequency of like liquid courage, but it's also spiritual cul-de-sacs. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's about Haumea kind of behaving like a transformative light frequency, like a lighthouse. You're down that dark cul-de-sac and you've been led there and you were meant to go there. But now Haumea's going to offer to ignite your water meadow with new creative potential and just bring you back. It's quintessence. It's coming back into a kind of consciousness that connects with the world you live in, not the world that you thought you were living in, but the world you really live in. So coming away from those dangerous pathways that you feel a bit stuck inside. There's so much potential, almost limitless potential in this Haumea influence. And as I say, Haumea is at 29 degrees. Sorry, just 1 second. I need to just do something there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I feel like I'm seeing 29 somewhere, but I'm not. What else Haumea is offering? So to lead you in the right direction from when you were lost. Opposition. What's opposite? Let me just have a quick look. People. Okay, Eris. There's a, is that right? No, hang on. Haumea. Yeah, kind of. Eris is close in opposition. There's a frustration. There's a frustration with you, yourself, with spirit, with others who have given you advice. Maybe you shouldn't have asked for the advice, but then I would say you were meant to. I would say that all the directions you've wandered into, all these new blockages that you're now seeing and realizing that are giving you that boiling rage are about to be distilled. This is about transforming where you stand within yourself. To secure yourself a new pathway. Yeah, she was the source of many gods. They kind of literally come off her body. Every time she sort of moves, she seems to birth something. So Haumea is acting as a kind of candle in the darkness. And this ing can often be seen as a candle in the darkness. So you're going to be distilling. You're going to physically, in this tunnel, we're going to extrude our truth from things. Let me just check something about... Yeah, this is a development energy. House 3, how you think of you. And then Leo. And Leo is to digest this. It's sort of like softening the food. It's a little bit... They show me a little... They showed me a little mother bird chewing up the food and then gagging it up for the babies. But that's almost what Haumea is doing. She's softening the blows. She's calming the frequencies. And she's allowing you to have a chance to calm, distill, reevaluate, and seek to become your own opposition to things that you've kind of chewing the cud, yeah. And with the 12 stomachs, I don't know, cows have a lot of stomachs. So transforming yourself, it's that opposition, moving through, Venus transforming. It's all about this chance. Yeah, hibiscus tea, that came up for Patrick in his Rob reading, or his reading by Rob. And I was going to write, I do love a hibiscus tea, but I like it with a bit of lime juice and honey. Just saying. I found a new sweetener here. I don't know whether anyone's heard of it. It's called monk's root. Monk's root? Monk's. Anyway, it's an interesting one. Doesn't seem to have a lot of the nasty after flavours. I just went through my head and wondered whether it might be nice in hibiscus tea. So, that's Haumea, and now we're going to move on to a timestamp for the Sun, the Moon, and Venus. The Sun, the Moon, and Venus, and that's at 3240. 3240. Another little bit of water, I'll have a little look at what you're all chatting about. Either it means miracle in Polish, cud. Chewing the miracles. Triumph over adversity by drawing upon inner reserves of vigour and natural law. Thank you, Kathy. So, what do we have for the Sun? The Sun. Sigil. 2 degrees of Scorpio. It's in the South Node. We're going to do the South Node separately. The Sun. And now we want the Moon. Look, the Moon. There's something about... I want to say that it's to do with the womb, but it's a creative womb. So... the flow of the Sun and the Moon. Let's just get Venus on this and then let's see where we're coming. Venus. Oh, Venus is like every card. It's like I'm being given this energy that the eclipse opens a kind of, I want to say a menstrual cycle, but not to do with the flow of blood from the body, but within the body, like a psychic or a psyche menstrual cycle the chance to reevaluate. This energy opens, and there's something about the eclipse tunnel offering this potential to dip in and out of the swelginess that we had earlier with Mercury and Psyche. Right, Venus is greedy. I just want to officially say Venus is greedy. Interesting, this is a very Venus energy. Venus loves money. Venus loves wealth. Venus loves a sugar daddy. And then we have the divine spark, King. Oh, look, people. 1616. There are codes hidden within this eclipse. And then we have leaf. And that's unfurling. So it's this chance within this tunnel to unfurl a new you, a new psyche, a new character, a new philosophy. And there's like a wealth. There's a wealth of ideas, divine sparks available in this eclipse tunnel, but you have to reach out for it. You have to unfurl. So you need to unfurl this branch and this leaf, and you need to go into your swelginess, and you need to look. This is quite interesting. I channeled it earlier, and now they're saying this is why. There are things in your swelginess that are of complete value from your past to your present and your future. That you've got to discern how to make things that at first seem wrong, or that spiritual cul-de-sac energy. You need to see, yes, there is an 11. You need to see that frequency as something beneficial once transformed through the energy of the eclipse tunnel. I said in the reading the other day that the eclipse tunnel gives you this ability to put an arm in that part of your past to transform it. Look in the dark, find the treasure and bring it back out and save it as part of what you're going to transform fully. Because remember, you're going to meet Venus on the 1st of November at Null Island. And then when we reach the lunar eclipse, that's when you're going to decide on all the new treasures from your traumas that are actually worth polishing up and wearing as badges of honor to create new blood frequencies to move you forwards. And the moon is offering you that potential to rewrite blood songs. So let's get Alchemy of Astrology on that one. So, how you all doing? Trauma treasures, yeah, I quite like that as it came out. Right, one card, first of all. Oh, and we've got it again. Distill. Distill your thoughts. Change your songs. Change your philosophies. Transform the way you think about community. You have to do this to improve yourself. But it's only then how you look from within yourself that will bring transformation to the world around you. Wash away, attain coherence. Joyful certainties are what we're seeking. They are the trauma treasures. We've got one other card so far. We've got Phallus, who is at 4 degrees. 4 degrees of Capricorn, yeah. 4 degrees of Capricorn. This is in the shadows. I feel like since Pholus entered, and I think Pholus is in house 12, release all of those unintended consequences that we create in our psyche through how we tell ourselves stories. Breathe. So Pholus is the law of unintended consequences. It feels as though Pholus is quite a slow mover, 91 years to move around the sun. And this is like magical awakenings. This is radical shifts. And there's a kind of mystical sophistication. But it's like a series of roadblocks or potholes. And you have to move towards those and either navigate around them, stop, fill them up, push the barriers away. You need to make your own decisions about where your energies are best placed. You need to move through those frequencies and push your agenda. So yes, there's a whole series for the last 2 years of unintended consequences, because the strength over the last couple of years of Capricorn and both Taurus in terms of the overall signature of the year have been quite strong and quite profound. And so that's meant that the energy of Pholus has been there. Interestingly, what comes after Pholus at 7 degrees, yeah, is Kawar. And Kawar is the creator energy that's done through song. It's a creator god. It's about bringing in something new. But Kawar always asks, what is the price of bliss? So what are you willing to release? Because this is house 12. What are you willing to release? What are you willing to let go of and no longer hold, so that you can go into a new creator frequency? Kawar, Wassail primary feathers. Wassail Kelly. Sorry, I forgot to say that. If I knew if I said your name, I'd lose my thread. She's here, Eve. And she's coming with a trine. So let me just have a look at the chart. Trining. So 29 degrees. Okay, so Vesta. So it's not quite there yet. There's a weird spirit just coming over there, making a strange noise. What do you want? It's gone quiet now. So yes, this Haumea Vesta trine frequency. I'm not sure of the orbit of Vesta offhand to know when it might be. I'm not going to try and guess. But there's something about birthing a new, I want to say belly home, a new sacral connection to you. This is all about you. And then it becomes about the collective afterwards. So this is about the door to the soul, and how the soul's door is the threshold through which we greet the community, through which, so there's a frequency. You can go out into the world and you can just be you in your own little bubble, highly protected, wrapped up in your own self. Or you can go out and you can allow the door to your soul to open so that you can shine that hearth light, that inextinguishable Vesta flame out in the real world. Because remember, an eclipse tunnel is not just about the moment, it's opening energies that will work towards the next series of eclipses, which will be April, May next year. And then they shift. The nodes will move into Libra and Aries. So there's something about your true essence needs to be sniffed out. Find your truth. Interesting, 9-9. 9-9 is always a number that tells me we're so close to something. We're just one part away. And that part is probably your truth, your true essence. That's a big part. And this is a really auspicious frequency. So this conjunction has got this multi-layered energy. What else? What else? What else? Wassail and Eclipse. Yeah, Vesta's currently at 24 degrees of Aquarius. So, it's all about the asteroids. Now, that's Eris with Moon in Libra. That's almost like, that's an energy that's coming just shortly before, like an opposition energy, to ease the rage. We're getting that energy again. We've got to stop being frustrated and angry. Hello, Chat 69, you dirty bugger. I don't know how you found your way here, but hello. The thing is, it will come back again later on, but it'll have one little digit change. And it'll just keep coming in, because that's how these bots work now. The problem is, I think that the formula waits to hear the word sex, and then it sends a bot. Yeah, I think that's all part of it. Do you know there's a really good piece of music? It's Prelude in D sharp minor, Wild Wolf Woman, by Scriabin. And actually, it's a really good transformative piece of classical music, Prelude in D sharp minor. It's a piano piece. And it's so angry, and as the piece develops, it's not long, it just brings in this calming, transformative, celebratory energy. Scriabin. And don't ask me how to spell it, because it gets spelled S-C-S-K. There you go, Primary Feathers is all over it for you. So Prelude in D sharp minor, it's a good piece for transforming anger. And while we're here with Eris, I was going to look something up then. Chat among yourselves, I'm just checking the chart. Eris is in house 4. The anger that hurts you at home. You've got to find balance. This is this energy, finding balance with your own soul. You've opened the door to your soul and it's screaming. It's just literally, Went on slightly too long and I kept thinking stop, and I was like, no, push forwards, push forwards. Yeah, this is what this eclipse is going to offer us, a chance to soften. Haumea was offering softness. This is about taking the rage from your soul. This is about not disrupting yourself with it. Accepting things. I almost, transforming those roadblocks into trickles of laughter. I'm ill at the moment, and that's really annoying me because I'm never ill. And I can feel it at the back in my livers and my kidneys, and I could just do a woe is me. Or I can transform it into something that's really useful. Yeah, don't transform other people's anger. You can hear it and release it, but don't try and transform it. We've all got to transform our own. Oh, I'm glad, Rob. What's twitting up for us? The mythical Eris, goddess of strife and discord, was the sister of Mars and god of war, and willingly accompanied him to battle. She was also not invited to the wedding. It's like not being invited to life. And so she throws in the golden apple of discourse, and she said, this is a present for the prettiest woman in the room. And then they all kick off, and Paris has to pick, and he picks Aphrodite, and she says, I'll give you Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world. And it's like a beauty myth. It got everyone nowhere. It started the war, the Trojan War. So, what else about the Sun, the Moon, and Venus? I'm going to take that, even though they didn't fall, because, oh, look, it's another series of interesting. Look at the form similarities here between Sappho and Makemake, and now look at the form similarities between here, at odds and not talking, between quincunx. Oh God, I find that word so tricky. That's interesting, Eve. You see, the weird thing is, Eve, I don't know why, but I always see you somehow with a voice. I don't know why, but I do. So the similarities between these energies in terms of their symbol, they're made up of each other but with different aspects. Sappho is in Leo. Sappho is at 21 degrees of Leo. And Makemake is in Libra at 8 degrees, but house 9. So here we're looking at an energy of Sappho and Makemake transforming something between house 8 and house 9 through the frequency of Ceres. So that's the energy of the sacral. And that's what is coming through again. We're rewriting the door to our soul. At odds, not speaking. And then a transformation. A transformation of health. Now, that's interesting. House 6 coming up. Mars is in house 6 in Gemini. But house 6 goes into Cancer as well, which is again bringing a transformation home. So this really is a chance to transform anger, fury, frustration, irritation, all these things that expose themselves in our bodies as, itches, bad skin, my norovirus thing. Just releasing all of that kind of frequency. There's a self-sensualness that needs to come through. There's a Make is anyone know which god or which place or people? Rapa Nui. So Easter Island, and Easter Island's just had a fire. I think I said this the other day. And some of the Easter Island heads have been scorched and burnt beyond repair. And yeah, that's a real tragedy. But within this reading, it's about those elements of ourselves that we believe are scorched beyond repair. Everything can be transformed. It doesn't matter how broken it feels. Yeah, they were damaged, and they say that the fire was started deliberately. But there's something about this swan transformation, the king of poisons, you know, it's not killed the statue. It's not killed us to have certain frequencies that we believe are fixed, because we all have fixed energies in our charts. So what are we looking at here now? In terms of fixed, Sappho is in fixed fire. What else have we got in fixed energies? Saturn, Chariklo and Vesta. So the boundaries are being redrawn. And then we've got Uranus, Gaia, and we've got the North Node in fixed energies. So these are the energies that are about to be transformed. Those fixed energies need to be unfixed. They need to be made mutable. And that's the interesting thing. Ceres is the transformative womb, seat of the soul energy, is in Virgo. It's in mutable earth energy. So the ability to transform is vast. So that's those. Let's pop them back. And we need to do the shelf node. What's going on in the chat? Yeah, Make. Is that really the number of Make? So Haumea takes 284 years, because I've put the little reference on the card. Haumea, I've got 306. What did you just say? 330? Could be close. Could be really wrong. And then Sappho is 3.4 years. Eris is 558, which is why everybody alive has Eris in Aries. Breathe. Breathe. So a new timestamp is needed for the South Node. South Node. Timestamp 5909. Yeah, Chariklo, I need to look at the card to know her. Yeah, this is right. So we're looking at the South Node's effect. So what is the South Node? It's the energies you come in with from your last incarnation. That doesn't have to be here. So, thank you, Eve. It's a lot of cards, but begins with calc, where you are mortared in. So I'm being told that when we're born, we're anchored in to the DNA of our ancestors. That's where we come in terms of our physical bodies, but your consciousness is from somewhere else. It's from the elven light. Your consciousness is pure love, collective, recognizable in all things, love. Oh my God, and that is everybody's original birthright, to anchor love into an ancestral DNA blood code. Are you in a nodal opposition? Thank you, Holly. And then, so, what is the node asking you to do? It's to take your DNA, your ancestral tunes, that which anchors you into the physical world. Because while you're here, while we're all here, we are earth seeds. We're living an earth human experience, and our pure elven lifruma light frequency, the elven ring, the collective if you want to think of it that way, the energy that sings only love, it sings only love, and that energy gets distorted in many ways so that we can experience the polar opposites. And what we're needing to do is to come in and butcher's brom, the mortar. We need to rebuild the DNA. We need to transform the energy frequencies. We need to make our physical existence something closer to the birthright of pure love. Yes, our birthright is to be anchored into this energy, to bring love into the physical body, all distorted. That is our Edel, that is our point that brings us into life. But if you clean up the mortar, if you clean up the old stories that get magnetized in, and this is so beautiful, you get hell. Your light returns. The more you scrub up, the cleaner you look, the more loving you are, the shinier you feel. Everything is up for grabs here. That's absolutely gorgeous. Really gorgeous. I might just go to bed now. Wassail, Jim Andrews. Yeah, I love a bit of the old light elves. Jim. So, let's have some alchemy of astrology on that South Node in Scorpio. Oh, that card's stuck. It's Moon in Taurus, which the moon will be full in Taurus at the end of this eclipse tunnel. Comfort seeker. Now, that's in the beginning. You need a new comfort blanket. I want to say it's also got something to do with neck and vocal cords, thyroid. And it's a 9, divine 9. But that was the last card. The cards that came out first to do with the South Node, your wounds, the Chiron. Chiron's at 13 degrees of Aries, in the shadows, bang on 22. 22, Psyche and Mercury. Transforming your psyche. This is also coming across as this. all of our original wounds is sticking our liphruma inside human DNA. That is a wound in itself. Being born, being incarnate is a wound. And then we have this card that's come out upside down. It's House 7. Oh my gosh. A really big wind has just picked up and it's kind of knocking the little tent thing out there, gazebo. Never seen that much wind in that space. So this came out upside down. It was talking to me about the energy of reviewing and undoing the partnership between the two parts of us, the two love frequencies. What our pure, absolute conscious love represents and how it has to distort to be physically present in an earth dimension, and we're being given the chance to unpick. There's something about this energy which is cosmic +1, and that +1 is your physical body. It's your cosmic soul energy, that door to the soul that opened, being brought in to connect with the physical echoes, ancestral stories. And then we have Aquarius. And Aquarius is kind of House 1 going into House 2. Amplifying your new soul, your new brickwork, your new framework, your new freer, loving light energy that is being returned during this. Remember, eclipses are about light and dark, shadows and light. They're about reviewing, and they're timeless spaces. This Aquarius is coming across as being part of a new air frequency. To magnify, it's like this is the spiritual ether poking at your embers. Rake over your soul. Use this 2 weeks to re-evaluate how you want to live. Build anew. Unify you. Empower you. Ready yourself for a better future. I'm hearing all of the things that you think you can't have is because you think you can't have them. This is the time to change that. This is the time to understand that in an eclipse tunnel, there are infinite possibilities that open. And this shows you 2 Gununga gaps. And that's almost what happens. There's more than 2. There's multiple endless potentials. But you have to go into those dark spaces, those shadows in your own past, and find the treasures and bring them out to become the new you. And then you will reach by the end that sense of a new, willingly, sensually tangible physical world around you, in a way that you've all sort of been a little bit, I want to say like we've all got to a stage, especially in the last 2 years, where we daren't touch things. And this is about bringing tangible, sensual joys back to life, because we all want them and we're entitled to them. So So that is your south node energy. And remember, the sun will still be there. It's the moon that will have raced round into Taurus at the end of the eclipse tunnel. So, now I'm going to look, I think, at one last little thing, which is Hygeia, I believe. Yeah, Hygeia. Oh no, hang on. We missed one. See, look, chat's back. They'll have changed one of the hyphens. I wouldn't mind, but we're looking for true sensual pleasures, Sexbot. You can't offer that. You can't offer any of that. All you can offer is, you know, hand over some cash for a wank. It's not what we need. So, we're going to go back to house 7. When you look at the chart, oh, maybe I can show you. So see here, this is the horizon, and just the first thing in the light as we go through this period is dark moon Earth and Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is at 20 degrees of Cancer, and dark moon Lilith is at 21, and they are applying a conjunction. So, water. Right. So let's look at Pallas Athena. What do we know? What do we know about Pallas Athena? She was a headache inside Zeus, or Jupiter's head, and they whacked an axe in it, and she jumped out fully formed, fully armed, and a little bit of a troublesome woman. She was a bit of an entitled goddess. She was a little bit cheeky. So, she was also obviously the protectress of Athens, which is sort of named after her. Yeah, I think it's a Peruvian water. Oh yes, it is a new timestamp. Well done, EV. I'm going to put that card back. I'm going to do that. So the timestamp for Dark Moon Lilith Athena, Pallas Athena, Dark Moon Lilith is at, I'm going to say 73, because then it will go backwards and they can put up with me realising I was a bit behind. So, thank you, Eve. English looked over again. So, Pallas Athena, Pallas Athena, Athena, Pallas Athena. If you know the true words for that, you get a little 10 out of 10 on your score sheet. Athena, Pallas Athena. This is all about womb magic, and by womb magic I really mean where the seat of our soul is. Yeah, the Homer weaving, where she cheated at weaving. She tricked Ariadne. That's what I mean about her being a little bit entitled. Ooh, now then, Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena, what are you telling us now? That's a complicated energy. And I'm glad that's there. Because do you know what? Most of this has been about just looking at the kind of, I want to say the hippie side of things. Whereas the true side of the shadows, because this is coming out of the darkness. This is the first energy, the first blood that's being brought up from the shadows of the eclipse is heartache. What pains you? What pains you? What makes you go, oh? It suddenly got really weighty. So, Dark Moon Lilith. Dark Moon Lilith. I want to say that this is an ancient truth anchored into the earth at its very creation. The notion of relationships. Because Dark Moon Lilith was, as you all know, Adam's first wife, as they say. And God took Earth and he made Adam. God took Earth and he made Lilith. And then according to the story, he said, now you have to do what Adam wants. And she said, piss off, I'm not doing that. But this is like I want to say this is like a distortion written through the soul of humanity. Interesting. See what else Dark Moon Lilith got. Don't know what I think about that. Ooh, Ophalagoo. 3363. This is the divine key. So there's almost like there's a deception through all of time, through all of humanity, which is that we were made for each other. And yet we refuse to accept that. What does that mean? We flow with heartache and we never experience the truth. I wanted to say then of our own divinity, but this is somehow going back to the elven light energy. It's like you can't witness the elven light on Earth because of a distortion that goes back to the very beginning of humanity. Are we, that's really weird. Are we here to love or to reproduce? And over time, the energy has been always to reproduce, but there's an energy where we accept somehow that hearts will be broken, and that's not the truth of the elven light Ophalagoo frequency. Interesting. That's like an epiphany that we need to make before we can do any transformative work. You know, I'm hearing there's plenty more fish in the sea. And there's something about two things. One, you can't embrace another unless you embrace yourself. But also, you know, maybe there's only one fish in the sea, but human experience stops that fish from being a true Piscean match. I don't know what that means, sorry. Wassail DA Studios. Wassail Grace. So, Virgo. Again, this is that energy of going back to pure essence. What is the pure essence of the human experience? Love. But it's been distorted through time. So this is Ceres again in Virgo. Ceres is at 10 degrees. It's so weird when I prepare these readings and do all the research. Things always come up that she made no plan for. I was going to say that's too many. I'm going to go with it because there's something that keeps coming up for me at the moment, which is the similarity between these two symbols and that energy where they're not yet in balance. Yeah, we need them to be different so that we understand them differently. But there's something about a transformation, a mutation that takes place right now in this eclipse tunnel. And this is Pallas Athena. It's like coming out fully formed, and that's the deception. That's the old trothing frequency that's a deception. So what else do we have here? Juno. This is marriage, partnerships, relationships, merging with another, mirrored souls energy. Lasting unions. The lasting unions, see, now that's interesting. The lasting unions are before incarnation. Our lasting unions are before incarnation. You can have a lasting union here, but it will only last as long as life lasts within you and the other. Juno is down in the shadows. She's in Pisces at 7 degrees, but she is in house 2, relating to others. What's going on down here? Rusted. It's almost like we come into a calcified energy. We come into an energy, house 2, possessions. What else did I want to say about that? Values. We come in to inhabit rusted, aged, masked, material grasping, choked philosophies of a possessiveness. We don't possess anybody, we possess ourselves. Moon in Gemini. This has got this energy of a kind of like being birthed, all of us naturally, Wassail, Vesta, into an anxiety. Life is an anxiety, but it doesn't have to be. It's just its current patterning. Moon in Sagittarius, which is the philosophical mission of life, is to sort your emotions out, to seat your emotions in your soul, in your sacral, in your own space with a cosmic womb and pulverize. It's like, so the energy I'm seeing here is there you have us, all of us, fully formed. Yeah, it's taken a lifetime, but at the point you are in now, you are in your current fully formed persona. And Dark Moon Lilith is coming in and she's going to mirror you. She's going to question you, a bit like Mercury was doing earlier with Psyche, questioning your soul. We are being questioned. You're being shown where you're rusted. You're being shown where your philosophy is too rigid. You need to transform and refix new emotions. Take them through the earth and refix them. And you're going to have to atomize so much of your self-belief. You're going to have to soften. Who was chewing the cud for us earlier? It's that energy again. Deconstructing to reconstruct. So that's what's coming with those two. And then I'm going to do Hygeia, and then I think I'm going to go and be sick. Can feel, I feel like I can't burp because it's like fearful of bringing up the bile. Like the fear of a fart and a follow through. So, timestamp Eve. The timestamp for Hygeia is 8707. So Hygeia is at 6 degrees 54, so nearly 7 degrees Hygeia in mutable fire. She feels like the medicine. Hygeia, daughter of Aesculapius. I've been sidetracked by the fact that we have 12th frequency, 66, and she is at 6 degrees. I don't know, I just said nearly 7, but she is at 6 degrees. There's something about physical form being held static. Hygeia. Hygeia. Oak. That's interesting. 6, 6, 7. It's like Hygeia just needs to move to 7 degrees. She's 6 minutes away. And that's when we will feel the physical support on physical trauma. It's a new energy. What's she in? She's in house 11. This is courage. No, sorry. Looking at Mars then. House of blessings. This is transforming aspects to ourselves so that we can light those aspects to others. So first of all, we have to heal us, and that's what the eclipse tunnel is offering us. Right, there's 2 big piles, but let's take the first 2. Prevalent here. Walking in new shoes is the overall energy. Changing our frequency, reigniting reigniting our footsteps. It's almost like we went through a period with series of lockdowns, all different in different countries, but they allowed people to kind of separate and disentangle. And now we're going to start walking again with an absolute intention. Now, do we want this great long path? Apparently we do. It begins with Kusma, but that's now being called Myrna, moon. So, recognize maturity, recognize growth, recognize how this physical health, Characlo awakening energy is a maturing. Doesn't matter what age you are, but it's moving something on. What's up, Carla? La 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 la. Great one. And then we have the present gateway. We're being brought, sorry, I didn't buy me. We're being brought into our current truth. Now, here's an interesting little story. I did a deep meditation the other day on the now. And I'm always sitting there saying to you, just get into the now. Focus on the now. Do the now. And it's all very well to say, be in the now, because you can't be anywhere else. But when you're truly in the now, if you really allow the whole of everything within your existence to accumulate around you, everything that we work ourselves up about, the things we get a sacred rage around, are completely futile and pointless. And there's something about, if you're only in a complete and utter now experience, there is almost a danger of nothingness. So an energy of total and utter release. And that's not the point. The point is, in your nowness, is to action endless future possibilities and probabilities, to plug yourself cleanly back in to you and all of humankind. It sounded like my gate. Let me just go and check, because someone's supposed to be bringing me a letter. No. But maybe they sent me a message and I ignored it. Yes, the message was an hour ago and I missed them. Never mind. So, last little bit. So, Gaia, Uranus. In Taurus, this is the message that's coming in. Again, this is energy coming somehow. It gets set up now but moves. This is to do with the 8th. Consciousness. Moon in Leo. The energy of being circulation changing, these blood stories that we were talking about being transformed, the Philosopher's Stone, everything prima materia, all coming back in, being alchemized, being omnipresent, and it's underneath the card of the present. And then Libra. So sublimation, having an epiphany point inside this eclipse tunnel, I think triggered by the energy of Venus, who rules Libra, who had her superior conjunction while at 29 degrees of Libra, and then water, this energy which is refixing our emotions, nurturing ourselves, and it ends so beautifully where we began with Psyche. I don't want to say deifying yourself, but I want to say transforming yourself, self-love, breath, allowing love, and the soul. On the 4th, Eros and Psyche will go into conjunction themselves, but that's a reading for another day. So, beautiful people. Yeah, so listen, if you really want to be handy and helpful and kind, $1, £1, a few pence are all helpful when you all offer. They help to make a big difference to me, being able to be places and share new experiences with you. Yeah, I hope I feel much better soon. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I need to get all sorts of things, but I don't really want to go out, so I'm kind of living on what supplies I have, because I don't feel strong enough for a wander to the shops. So that was lovely the way that ended with Psyche. Wassail. Just reading. Look, it doesn't matter if you can't, truly. I mean, that's completely acceptable. I'm just trying to, and Kathy's there, trying to just say that even the smallest of donations, you know, a penny from your heart can multiply into many, many more pennies. And look, I don't often ask. But occasionally, I do. So beautiful people, we've got 3 altars to do for this eclipse tunnel. Then we've got Null Island where we meet Venus. Then we've got another 3 altars. And then we got the lunar eclipse. So there's a little bit of a series opening here, but we're going to be looking at the cosmic. It's always an asteroid and a planet that you'll meet at the altars, at the columns. So, exactly. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, thank you, Eve. Thank you, all of my moderators, for dealing with my sex bots. So, I will see you maybe tomorrow or the next day, but I'm trying to get this series ahead of time so that people can tune in and learn how to move forwards with this. So, Wassail, beautiful people. Cheerio, folks. Love to you.